Hola chicas, yo soy ytmaucraft y estamos en un nuevo directo, como siempre gente, en directo por YouTube y por Twitch en simultáneo. Y si se van al Twitch, pues con mayor calidad en gráfica, más rápido. Y creo que ahorita mismo hay drops activos en Genshin Impact, así que si quieren algo, pues ahí está. Como siempre, Maucraft barra baja. eh, en Twitch todo minúscula y junto, vaya. Y pues vamos directo, ¿no? Y solo déjenme acerco un poco y ya les comparto la pantalla del juego, vaya. Entonces, que luego, ajá. Y entonces, acá, listo. Bueno, no estamos cerca, pero ya vamos llegando. Yo sé que tengo una voz muy hermosa, gracias. Lo que esos comentarios YouTube los bloqueé, como que no tengo ganas de mostrarlos, ¿sabes? Hola, 20. Yo estaba con Varka, el que nos iba a presentar ahorita. Bueno, mejor. Bueno, mucha intro, pues.
Ah, welcome back, old friend.
Buenas.
And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight?
Sí, acá sí, Ether.
Sure have your finger on the pulse. We barely
Es que es
caught
el
our
halcón
breath
a Nemo y que tiene la autoridad del tiempo. ¿Cómo no se va a enterar, 20?
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear my wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please.
Todo lo de Notka, no, ahorita se va a enterar. No, mire, papá, lo que pasó es de que se abrió el pinche cielo falso, pegamos contra un descendido, fuimos al principio de los tiempos, viajamos en el tiempo, alteramos el tiempo, y a la vez no, porque todo tiene que ver.
The wild hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rehir of Solnari.
Sí, tendría que. Enseño cara, yo enseño cara cuando tenga 1000. A llegar a 1000 suscriptores, enseño cara.
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the doctor, though.
Sí.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved,
Ya tenía que estar de
Varka
regreso
must be
Varka y
getting
los
ready
demás.
for the
Y
triumphant
justo eso me
return
acuerdo
of
que en el
expedition.
tráiler
I haven't seen him in
de
the
misiones
longest
se
time.
mostró que como que la cacería salvaje venía a Mondstadt, creo yo.
He did call you Barbados. But weren't you still fast asleep back when he was in Mondstadt?
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials.
Ojalá que nos dejen usar de prueba
In fact, all that awaited
a
him
Varka,
was
porque tipo
lost
yo ya lo probé, ahorita le voy a enseñar todo y ya los eventos, ¿no? Del Milastra, del... ¿cómo se llama esto? Del... música, de prueba de personajes, ya todo bien para las protogemas, ¿verdad? Miajas, vaya.
Must have been making quite a racket if it wasn't
Pero
just the weekend
la verdad es que me gustó
Yeah,
bastante como
it sounded kind
la
of
jugabilidad de Varka, aunque siento que es un poco más para la gente que está empezando a jugar, ¿sabes? No sentí que tuviera tantas novedades y a su vez que el poder, o sea, el ataque no es tan distintivo como sería, no sé, Mawika o New Bullet o Skirk, ¿sabes? Los que están en el meta ahorita mismo.
Oh, bring it on.
like
Y ese me trae recuerdo de Doctor, loco.
Giving up already?
¡Ey, ese es Dottore!
You're not half as tough as Varka said.
Hasta los ojos, miren, los ojos, es el ojo del diablo, loco.
a young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure.
Sí, ese vato
Now there's a
es
sight I
la
haven't seen in a
reencarnación de
while.
Dottore.
The bard in green clothes. Does this mean? I was just
Ey,
wondering how
hasta
I could
incluso,
track you down.
no sé, siento que tiene así como que el brazalete, algo así de que tiene Arlequino, ¿verdad?
Oh, so you
Ese vato me da mala espina desde ya, loco.
Strange place to start your search.
Hola, no te puedo creer, loco. No te puedo creer, loco, que el Sectón está en Sectón Gaming, está en directo, de verdad. Eso no es de todos los días, loco.
Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight. And allow me to introduce myself.
Lohin.
I'm Lowen, vice captain of the 5th company of the Knights of
Ah,
Civilians
este
and
vato ya le había
member of the
mencionado antes.
Expeditionary Force. Pleased to
Ese
make
vato
your
ya le había
acquaintance.
mencionado antes, bien me acuerdo yo.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right.
That's probably because when the wild hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on my own. Then, once the wild hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did Varka send you back?
Deliver some letters.
Carta, el que es de vato es el
One for the Knights
delivery.
of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Pocas.
How many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inepa, Lolan, and Beth.
Ey, es cierto que tenía que mandó su
Let's go.
carta de a Jin contándole todo lo que pasó allá en Notcry.
Darn it!
Anyway, since this young
Que
man
cae
has
bien
come
al
all the way to
cliente,
the-
momento,
You
o sea,
sure
tener
are.
un favor de la
This one is
bruja.
for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by Venti. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here, oh, sorry, ruin guard, I could get...
Ok.
Varka is so slapdash sometimes.
Bueno, mucho texto, la verdad no tengo ni ganas ni tiempo para leer todo, la verdad. Así que, como siempre, ¿verdad? No es importante, lo saltamos, loco. Sí, papa. Zack Sloan. ¿Cuánto has estado tú en un directo mío, papa? Y más de Genshin Impact, nunca. Ey, hablando de eso, yo te tengo que reclamar,
Also says to
loco.
remind you to write back.
Tengo que reclamar porque literalmente tienes tu cuenta de Genshin, estás ahí en la lista de amigos y nunca hemos jugado, nunca. Tú tienes ahí tu play, jugás un chingo de cosas y nunca jugamos.
Two drinking buddies. But if I'm supposed to write back this time, Varka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right? Maybe you can head into Mondstadt and deliver the rest of them first?
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully the roads haven't changed too much.
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's
Ah,
honorary knight
otra vez de
escort
ella.
this
No, loco,
homeward
igual que
bound
con
wanderer
Sibai.
to the city?
Let's go! It's been a while since Paimon's done.
Thank you so much, honorary knight.
Oye, hoy sí ya empieza la misión, creo yo, ¿no?
The abyss, the wild hunt, Andreas.
Ah, pues no fue una plática de solo amigos, no. Que está hablando del abismo, de la casilla salvaje. Y Andrews, que está hablando.
Get home safe, Varka.
Uy. Algo me dice que Varka no va a regresar a casa, loco.
Why do my ears feel so hot all of a sudden?
Hola, un dominio, entramos a un dominio.
Surely there's no way anyone found a secret stash of cash my
¡Hola,
office.
Varka!
That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, that
Ah,
time-
eso está en Notcry todavía. Sí, la casilla salvaje.
Oh, it's just a few stragglers. They're no real threat to us. This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these.
We will make our triumphant return.
Me parece increíble cómo solo un humano todo lo que ha hecho. Varka no es ni bendecido por los dioses, no es un humano normal y todo lo que hace. A ver, yo voy a probar tutorial con Varka, si este que esto es fácil. Cinco, siete, cuatro, cinco. Es que lo que le digo, Varka tiene un increíble diseño y fue esperado como por 6 años, yo creo 5. Y sí trae innovación a medias, pero siento que el ataque que hace Varka queda muy por detrás. A la vea, papa.
Just like I thought.
Grandmaster.
La verdad, qué bueno que está aquí en el directo, loco.
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and...
Yes, Grandmaster.
Gran maestro de Favonius. Hola, ¿y eso? ¿Será una
We meet
bruja?
again, Andreas.
Ah, amigo. Hola, ¿y eso? Ay, este es el vato que está... El maestro de raza, ¿no? ¿Qué es eso?
I was planning to take a look around there myself.
Parece, no sé,
Perhaps you could be my guide.
algo de estrellas.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago?
Buenas.
Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. There are 2 other...
Ajá, aquí tuvo que, algo tuvo que ver, pasó algo importante para haber mandado una carta a Barbazo.
Come, Andreas!
Yes.
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious. Might be better.
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice, corruption, iniquity. Is the surface world.
Ah, yo creo que esto ya lo había visto yo antes con una leyenda de Not Cry.
Answer me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight.
¿O no? ¡Ay, sí! Para aquellos que estuvieron en la expedición, da inicio la misión de Varka.
That's where things stand with the
Hombre,
expedition.
pero
The
déjeme
victors will
pelear
be
con...
returning home soon, so
contra
make sure to stock up.
Andrews.
P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't
Ahora
forget to
además lo
write
creo
back.
todos.
Everyone gets one? Wow! Sure writes a...
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet.
Ey, pobre, ya tienen su título, de verdad. Varka le podría dar el título.
Jean? Oh, yes. That's our Grand Master for you.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a...
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel Share. Allegedly for work. Said he was
Qué bonito es ver a todos de...
exchanging intel. But I'd
de
say there's a
Mondstadt,
50-50 chance
de
he's
Mondstadt.
just there for a drink.
Así reunidos y todo, va loco. Ah, mira, lo que pasa de esta historia, perdón que no haya leído, es de que es la continuación de Not Cry. Muy resumen, loco. Matamos al diablo y luego que matamos al diablo, de a poco se están yendo sus demonios, pero esos demonios están como que queriendo llegar a donde estamos ahorita, que se llama Mondstadt. Un resumen demasiado rápido de lo que pasó. ¿Y qué onda con mis comentarios en YouTube? Son comentarios muy curiositos. Muy curiositos, muy... que no lo voy a permitir que a mí me lo muestran, pues, y yo elijo si mostrarlos o ocultarlos, ¿verdad? Pues yo los mantengo así ocultos, vaya. Y cualquier cosa, creo que también, o sea, tú puedes ver el chat, mano.
Our thanks to
Ya
you too,
tengo el chat
Rowan.
habilitado para que lo vean todos.
I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas' trial.
Siempre y cuando lo
Well, with any
muestren.
luck, that wolf might be willing to reveal...
Very well.
but please remember to show respect to the local wolves.
I will. Goodbye.
Bye. Sí, a Jin le tuve que haber explicado todo. O sea, yo digo que a los únicos que le explicó bien la situación fue a Jin y a Venti. Ah, miren, por cierto. Ya casi termino de armar a Colombina y armar bien. Me falta solo esto porque está en vía porcentual y probable que tiene daño crítico, pero no. Me di cuenta que el regalo que necesito aquí en el reloj, ¿no? En arenas, es de recarga de energía, probabilidad crítica, daño crítico y si se puede, vía porcentual. Pero si no, probabilidad crítica y daño crítico. Porque en vida máxima, pues estoy o sea, tengo estadísticas prácticamente perfectas con Colombina, a excepción de la recarga de energía. La recarga de energía me falta un chingo. O sea, sí, yo sí necesito el reloj de la recarga de energía, vaya.
Honorary Knight, you're still here?
¿Qué es lo que está pasando, Jin?
Varka's coming back. The situation in Naka.
No, está yendo peor.
True. From what you and Lowen have told me,
¿Qué
the
capítulo es?
expedition has indeed accomplished
Ah,
its strategic objectives.
Esta misión o sea, es como por decirte algo, es un
It seems that
extra.
Mondstadt no longer faces any threat
Es un
from the
extra.
perils of the north.
Porque
The Wild Hunt or the Doctor.
sí se necesita ver esto y por eso lo traje en directo. Porque yo nunca traigo misiones de personaje a menos que en verdad me fascine el personaje. Y ver que me gusta, pero no me fascina. Entonces lo traje porque esto sí te explica la historia, pero no es parte de la historia. O sea, es como un agregado. Si tú lo miras, entendés más lo que viene después. Pero si no miras esta misión, igual sí es entender, aunque te asatará un poco más, por decirte algo.
And yet, for some reason, I can't help but recall something the Grandmaster said to me.
Sí te lo voy a mostrar, pero
If I
dame
don't
tiempo
make it
que
back from
termine
this
ese diálogo.
expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. If it comes to that, remember to train the next Knight of Boreas in my stead. I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they too need protecting. And some, well, some might not even want to be a knight yet.
Simón,
What's
espero que
wrong?
haberte explicado bien,
Well, there's no
porque a veces
need
ni
to
yo me
frown.
entiendo, loco.
Until I
A veces ni yo
return.
me entiendo.
I leave
Espero haberte explicado bien cómo está la
The lineage
situación.
of the Knights
Y
of
ahorita
Boreas
hay un
has
apartado
nearly
que lo
been
haremos con
extinguished
la
twice in
actualización
Mondstadt's
pasada,
history.
que te explica un poco bien cómo va los capítulos. Entonces ahí te lo muestro solo que termine el diálogo, ¿verdad? Porque aquí no me deja.
The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion.
Ah, ese
He
dato sí no lo
was as
conozco.
free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. The title of Boreas could have disappeared from Mondstadt just as he did.
Ala, no loco.
But he had
Pero,
to inform me
espérate,
over
Vano,
Aristotle.
de verdad. Yo estoy hasta sentado en el cargador, pues. Vaya a cargar el pinche celular y se mantiene viendo esto, vaya.
Correct.
Y si no, se va hasta la maldita tele. Se va a la tele a ver esto. Y está en el chat, escribiendo en su celular. Si no en la compu, soluciones hay. El que quiere
The Knight of
puede,
Boreas
papá.
serves as an intermediary between him and humanity. Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand it through the journey with his human companion. This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the starting point of the Wolf King's journey
¿A
is not
poco?
Mondstadt, but Nodcry.
El logo ese es de Not Cry.
You don't seem surprised. Did you sense something? The great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry. Although he doesn't like to speak of his past. As such, this tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. Even the
Ni yo me sabía
Grandmaster
eso,
didn't
loco. Y eso
disclose
que
any
yo soy
concrete
envicio
objectives before departing on
con
his
el lore,
expedition.
vaya.
I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion. You experienced the turmoil caused by Deval and the East Wind's actions for yourself.
Sí.
Surely you can
No wonder Varka wasn't clear about his motives. Is that what he was
Entonces de seguro, no sé, tal vez como
Very possibly.
la cacería salvaje
He was
uno se ha
probably
radicado
also
por
reserving
completo. O sea,
judgment.
ya no se expande más,
Having
pero
heard about your
viene.
experiences
Hay que
in
aniquilarlo de a
Makai,
poco.
I now
Entonces, no sé, tal vez
suspect
de
that
alguna
the
manera, igual que con
Grandmaster
el Albeo,
hadn't
de
yet
alguna manera
ascertained
logró
the true identity
infectar,
of our
por así
enemy at
decirlo,
that time.
al espíritu de hace miles de años.
And as it turns out, the calamity born in the north wasn't an ancient god, but rather the wild.
Porque,
Yes, I completely agree.
porque ya vimos de que
Kai
no
can
trae,
turn rapidly in
se
times
puede
of
cambiar de
battle.
tiempo.
It's a
Se puede
leader's
interactuar
responsibility to
con el
prepare for
tiempo.
every
Más ahora
possible, even
de
if his
que
contingency
está la
plan
diosa
never needs to be
triangular.
put into action. I'm sure the Grandmaster is relieved to know that it's in place.
Va, hoy sí, papá. Va, lo que le decía, aquí. Bueno, aquí es, miren, esto es lo que yo le hablaba. Esto es lo que yo le hablaba. Esa, lo que es la verdadera luna, es la historia principal, ¿verdad? La que damos. Y aquí es donde estamos. Es una ramificación. Es como con un intermedio, por decirte algo. Un intermedio de las misiones así de historia. No. Ah, ya.
That turned into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the angels here now.
A la gran siempre lo mismo, de verdad.
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start
Rosaria.
by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes.
Acá ella
Then
tengo un gran
drain
amor,
out the
¿no?
water
Porque
before adding the other
literalmente
ingredients.
mi primer equipo fue
How's that
ella.
for s-
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least.
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really
Ah,
need
un
to talk so
diseñador de look, por
loudly?
favor, de verdad se lo merece. Tiene el peor diseño de todo yo.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler,
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now.
from the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Huh? Drop what?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, he
Uy, flashback, loco.
asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius, and I declined. He expressed
Yeah, right. Sounds like you.
whatever details I chose to
con
omit
Varka
are in the past.
nunca es cosa de dos
Back
palabras,
now
loco. Con
serves no
Varka,
purpose.
para decirte algo, se extiende hasta 20 minutos. Igual que Nicole, loco.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time, but my answer remains unchanged. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honorable. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on...
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I just really don't disagree with the first.
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem.
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the Church?
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the church and not the knights to begin?
Pero yo Rosaria no era así como que se llama que... así guerrera o algo así.
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, contingencies Jean was talking about?
Sí. Varka es como 20, loco, así de que ya sabe cómo se comportan ahí. Ey, o sea, en el trailer es bien bonito su relación con todos y la de Mondstadt. A ver, esto sí me lo voy a
My
aceptar.
reply won't be a long.
Ah,
If you hadn't had
como
to
que esto es más
deliver that
importante,
guy's
loco.
mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do...
So you see what's really going on here? All three of...
Huh? Scheme? What do you mean? Was Varka lying in his letters then?
No sé.
No.
Tal vez.
Well, I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights. I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the... Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas.
¿A poco?
That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before?
En todo este tiempo no sé mucho de eso
The lineage
de
of the Knights
Boreas.
of Boreas had nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception.
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait. And then we got...
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started
Y-
yammering.
Hola. Ey, loco, de verdad que tiene mi hoyo con 500 años, de verdad. Yo se lo dije, se lo dije. Desde que estoy en Libre, se lo he dicho. De que de verdad tienen que tener algo con 500 años, porque ahí pasó de todo. Solo ahorita en este momento se me ocurrieron 30 cosas que pasaron en hace 500 años.
Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title.
Hola.
He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
De solo ir a eso de sanguinario, no, loco, este vato me hace que
Yikes!
extremista, loco.
Bloodstained Knight?
Hitler.
That sounds a little ominous.
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight, but he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago. Including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the blood-stained knight. After that, he threw himself completely into battling
Qué loca
monsters,
historia.
leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, it's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save.
Para mí que ese vato ya estaba trastornado, ¿sabes?
But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back, perhaps things would have turned out differently.
Pues quién sabe.
So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, after all these years, he's still as persistent as ever.
Huh. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on.
Varka está increíble, la verdad. Uno de mis personajes favoritos
There's
de
still
Genshin.
something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. Wasn't Andreas a god? If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? That's a great idea!
Bueno, así de confianza va. Hola, dominio, no, loco, ¿sabes ni qué va a pasar? ¡Hola, madre! ¿Qué es este ambiente? No puede ser, llevamos de un día normal y estoy aquí no sé, como que en el abismo o algo así.
The Wild Hunt! What are they doing?
Hola, yo la conseguí salvaje.
Watch out! Strike a pose! By my spark, the night burns! Yeah! Kapow! Charge! Yeah! Oof! It's justice o'clock!
Settle down.
Surge! Yeah! Kapow! Hero incoming! Kapow!
Qué loco.
Are you alright?
Algo cerca, no, loco. ¿Y cómo llegó la cacería salvaje hasta aquí, loco?
Stop right there. Answer me this. The two
¿Qué
letters.
le
I gave-
pasa?
2 letters?
Okay. Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Paimon passed a test? Really?
Es que se pega como que
Taking one!
el rostro, no, o sea, fingir ser alguien más, pero eso lo hacía Redis, no la cacería salvaje.
You may dispense with your suspicions. The Wolfpack has borne witness. They fought against the aberration. A familiar.
Well, if the boss of Wolvendom has vouched for you, I sure was. Something
pues.
seems wrong with that old wolf, though.
Creo que ahí te ha salido lo mío. Oh, Razor Omega. Prima sería cantada yendo de Razor.
Lupus Boreas, not injured. Why so?
You are not to blame. With your iron claw,
También era espiritual.
you successfully blocked. They followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines.
Alina Slay a la
They
hora.
sought to corrupt the territory I protect. We meet again, human Lupical.
So, are you saying that the wild hunt we just got attacked by came all the way from
Es
Nodron to
imposible que salieran porque la cacería salvaje se mantiene a flote por los vestigios de Redis.
As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete being. I am but one, the source of this turmoil. I can sense it. It lies in the north. It is the part of me that remains in Nodcry.
Huh? Now Paimon's even more confused. How can he be in 2 places at once?
Ajá, es que ya sabíamos de que los dioses se pueden como dividir, ¿no? Porque, a ver, la misión de legendaria, si no estoy mal, del no, bueno, no me acuerdo, pero de los Yoshas me han dicho de que había remanentes de los muertos y que eran partes, ¿no? Y luego con lo de Sibai, que la soberana del tiempo como que partió su alma en 3 para así mantenerla.
For many gods, housing a part of their soul within an object is
Hola.
no difficult feat. But those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare, even among the gods.
Barbatos.
The Wolf King, Andrius, was particularly adept in this art. Otherwise, no remnants of his soul would have survived till the present day.
Huh? The bard's back?
Toad Bard?
Maybe the god of Animal guided me here. For it appears that someone is in need of a tale. Who better than a bard to do the honors? Lord Boreas?
As you wish.
Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into
Ah,
the
una historia.
Sealy Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off for the city to the south.
Oh.
As the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas,
who once had hunted with the Stormwinds himself, looked within and inquired, was the shelter he provided for humanity really any different from that given by the reclusive king in his tower?
A ver, entonces esto fue un aproximado de hace, no sé, 2000 años, porque leo con lo del orden celestial, que no le gusta lo de los ángeles, todos se tuvieron que partir y ahí son los Silis.
The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned by its former master, the great wolf closed his eyes and slept. 500 bitter winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until a knight stumbled in from the cold, just as Lupus Boreas had once done at the Seelie Hall, and awoke him at long last. The knight asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his memory. The gentle wolf, unwilling to refuse the human's earnest plea, split his soul into two halves and left his home once more.
La antigua Mondstadt.
Seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now filled the once somber city, the aging Lupus Boreas turned to his friend, the god of Animo, and remarked, "So, this is the world the humans dreamed of." Though the knight's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion here. He had written the end to his story. What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Everything he was,
El origen
he
de
gave
Boreas.
unto the world. Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale. Lord Boreas, is there anything you'd like to add?
There is no need for you to ask that question.
So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with that knight 1,000 years ago.
You need not feel remorse on my account. And if anyone should feel regret, it is the part of me who remained in Notcry. That is surely why those vile aberrations were able to exploit his weakness.
But we followed Boreas' trail in Nodcry. We investigated and discovered no signs of instability.
Andrea should still be slumbering by the lakeside. Perhaps all the recent turmoil in Notcry
Todo lo que pasó con la casilla salvaje, Reddit y Doctor él lo
And
expresó.
there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across the lake.
Hola, el que es segundo
A scent that
Gregoria.
Oh, the White Knight who became the Bloodstained Knight? The mightiest knight of Boreas? But
I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his. It was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you call it. Beyond that,
Caenria.
I know not.
Cada vez que se
if he
menciona
lived
Caenria
or
me
died.
encanta. Mi región, mi nación favorita.
If you want to get to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have to make another trip to Nodcry yourselves.
Hola, otra vez ahí.
As luck would have it, another old friend of ours just so happens to be free right now. If you ask him.
Hola.
No wonder I can suddenly sense the East
Durin.
Wind's presence.
Ah, no, Divalin. Bueno, Divalin.
If even Mondstadt has been affected by the fallout, Nodcry must be in real trouble by now. I hope Varka can handle
Bueno,
it.
literalmente Notcry es el lugar más seguro para vivir. Está la 10 trilunares, está Lauma, Nefer, como 5 facciones de un
Varka, is he?
I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only.
All
Divalin.
right. Wish it could be me, but I accept that we should send our strong. I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that tries.
Ey, qué bonito era Divalin, porque los días que leímos fue la misión de Durin.
I stay in Mondstadt too.
Razor, give me your eye.
Hola, ¿y eso?
Golden-haired traveler, give this token to the current knight of Boreas.
Otra espada. A Varka.
It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thoughts.
Ahora le va a dar más
The
poder.
dominator of wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack. Strength.
But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. It would be akin to forcefully merging a human to prevent the entanglement of souls. The most, although, truth be told, that knight does not lack for power. The great wolf king of the north remains strong for now.
I will protect Lupical. The north?
Just give me the word whenever you're ready.
Vamos. Quiero ver a Divalin. Divalin. Ay.
Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nodcry.
El amuleto.
The soul of a wolf is as unyielding as ice, and Andreas is a master of molding and shaping it. But human hearts and flesh cannot contain the soul of a god. Attempting to place the wolf spirit in a human vessel would slowly devour.
Hello.
That's why Lupus Boreas developed the technique of imbuing weapons with his soul. It is his way of blessing his human. In fact, there is an ancient song that tells this tale. A weapon once of common iron, now through friendship
Siempre
turned divine.
desape
Puts
todos.
the man and wolf
Ay,
apart.
qué poema o canto decirle.
As much as he might claim not to accept humans, his actions sing a different tune. Oh, any questions before you set off? The root of this turmoil lies with the remnant soul that Andreas, dominator of wolves, he once left Nodcry and braved the blizzards to confront the god of storms and claim the right to rule. Yet even as the tower fell, he chose to abandon his claim.
Ah, sí, eso fue el antiguo.
Instead, he returned to the north and slumbered for 1,000 years, before finally journeying back, under the name of Boreas. When the wolf spirit could no longer maintain his physical form, Boreas chose to pour his power into the ley line. Any questions before you set off?
Lo último de Roland,
500
del
years ago,
sanguinario.
Roland seemed destined to become the mightiest knight of Boreas ever to have lived. But he believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice from the world. Neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rostam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of Light, could But what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lupus Boreas sensed? And what is its connection to
Yo
Conrad
digo que,
and this?
no sé, no era
Perhaps
una
you will
parte
uncover the
perdida que
truth
se
in
repartieron a los
Nodcry.
pecadores.
Any questions before you set off?
Vamos.
Right. Over to you.
¡Divalin! Hola. Y ya no te cry.
The Knight of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other plans. We will meet you again later.
Nos vemos, Divalin. Hola. Ahí llegado hasta Paimon para volar, loco. ¿Cómo que batalla? ¿Qué batalla?
Hold the line! The
Hala.
enemy's on the brink of collapse!
Grand Master! It's...
¡Oh!
Haha! Reinforcements! It's about time!
¡Qué manera de entrar a la batalla, loco!
And Paimon too!
We're just about hanging in there. Most of their grunts are taken care of now. Their leader's gonna have to make a decision soon. Fight or flight? What will it be?
As expected, this hastily summoned Wild Hunt horde is nothing but a disorganized rabble. A mere shadow of the forces gathered by the but they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics. Farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose to resist me or not, I shall set right
O sea
the
que
injustices of this world.
el sanguinario tomó como que la parte remanente de Andrews y despertó a la cacería salvaje. Refiriendo a
Guess they're retreating for now.
So of the North look alike. That was Andreas? But what? Forget that. We can save the details for later.
There's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. True. We're still not certain of his true identity, but whether he's killing him might be just about possible. Especially now. The difficult part is, we can't kill him right now.
Huh? What do you mean? Is he...
No. Judging from our skirmishes so far, I don't think he's got any special abilities of that caliber. Nor does he have the ridiculous level of power wielded by the 5 sinners. But, compared to Rerir, our current foe clearly has a better understanding of how to exploit Nodcry. Exactly. Sounds like you realize what... I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analyzing as we speak. Meanwhile, our other allies should be making their way home from their own battles by now. We still have some big challenges ahead before this expedition can finally be declared.
Que la luna nos ayude.
The meeting is probably gonna be in the biggest tent, right?
¡Ya joda!
Hey, good to see you again. She went to see Lauma and Columbina at the Frost Moon Scions. Apparently, there haven't been any changes to that space.
That means the recent wild hunt attacks have nothing to do with Rerir, right? Ooh, that's a relief.
Sí, Rerir ya está en paz.
They're keeping a close watch on it just in case. With so many moon experts on the case, we're in pretty safe hands, huh? Oh yeah, Lauma and Columbina asked me to pass on a message too. Focus on the enemy you are facing. You know something? These Knights of Favonius are paying me a pretty...
Short distance propulsion module on cooldown. 15 minutes, switching to chat mode. Hello there. Varka placed a sizable order with the Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop. I know is hard at work producing the strategic reserve. Secondly, I am also here to attend the meeting.
Oh, muy bien. ¡Hala, Flins! Bien decía yo que qué pasa con toda la mara.
Huh? Flins! Paimon thought the Lightkeeper's rep will be Itlua.
You're quite right. However, Itlua and Nikita are both busy organizing the Ratniki's region-wide response, and since I'm well acquainted with everyone else here, I was the one they recommended to attend the meeting. Sometimes you don't get a choice when...
Bueno. Buena.
Hey, Honorary Knight. Albedo and Durin are just wrapping up their analysis. You want to wait?
Great. Pues.
While we're waiting, could you update me on the situation?
Vamos a pasar chisme a Varka, loco.
And that's where things stand. The Wild Hunt is no longer under the Reikir of Solnari's control, but it has been reborn from the ashes and is now launching widespread attacks. Intel from the Frost Moon Scions and the Curatorium of Secrets corroborates this. No disturbances have been detected in the space where Rerir resides. What we are
summarizing current situation. To confirm, the present leader of the Wild Hunt.
More precisely, it's the external will that has seized control of Andrius' spirit.
Es lo que le decía, el sanguinario está como que poseyendo el vestigio de antes.
Whoa. Hold on. I'm completely lost. How'd he suddenly get wrapped up with a god from 1,000 years in the past?
Allow us to explain that part. Are you familiar with compensation mechanisms? When an organism sustains damage, relevant tissues will undergo changes. No. For example, when one kidney is damaged, the other will be strengthened to compensate. Or, when a main artery is blocked, the collateral vessel. Similarly, when the Wild Hunt lost their leader, the Abyss harnessed the memories that flow throughout the ley lines to fashion a new one, fit for the present circumstances.
Es como los Locusts de Gears of War.
That new leader is a mirror image of Roland, the bloodstained knight.
Right. No matter how strong the compensation is,
it will never quite match the functionality of the original organ. The Roland replica can't possibly imitate Barrier's overwhelming power, nor his ability. So, the Abyss made use of the connection between Roland and Boreas to compensate for this lack of power.
The replica corrupted and took control of Andreas as he slumbered by the bank of Amsvartnir, ultimately manifesting as the giant beast that you all witnessed. However, exactly why the Abyss chose Roland to mimic?
I guess he must have gotten caught up with the Abyss or Nodcry somehow during his wanderings through Tavad.
Porque
But we can keep those questions on the back burner.
Con Kaenri ahí el abismo.
Okay, Paimon gets all that, but what did you mean when you said we can't kill?
You can't kill him right now because a dead god may prove more dangerous than a living one. From intelligence gathered during the expedition, we have reason to believe that the power released when a god is felled can have catastrophic consequences for us mortals.
Ajá. Como en Liyue.
Worse still, the wrath that remains after a god's passing becomes a source of endless turmoil. Once god remains contaminate the land, they will persist for thousands of years.
Ajá, los Jackson, lo que había contado antes.
This land has already been ravaged by the Wild Hunt. If we add god remains to the mix, it'll be like adding salt to an open wound, placing everyone who lives here in perilous danger.
Query. While I can indeed find records of disasters caused by god remains in my database, there also appear to be cases of gods dying in that land. The passing of the Pyro Archon's flame is a common occurrence throughout history, and even the part of Andreas who remains in Mondstadt has experienced death once before.
Great question. Glad you asked. Honorary Knight, you said Lupus Boreas gave you a token to pass on to me?
Adelante.
Come forth, Boreas.
Oye, qué loco.
This form has come to the end of its time. I'm afraid I can accompany. My soul will fall into silence, and my power will flow into the ley lines of this land. Do not grieve for me, for this is the end I have chosen. A final wish before.
You saw it too. You must have keen powers of perception. Not that it surprises me. That was Boreas' final thoughts before merging with the ley lines. It's the reason Mondstadt remains unharmed by his god. In his final moments, he made a choice to give everything he was to the ley lines. All to protect Mondstadt.
Sounds like Andreas spent thousands of years searching for his place in the world, too.
Yes. And now our task is to return the answer he found, the decision he made, to Andreas' heart. Only then can he break free from the corruption and control of the Abyss, and make that decision once more.
Boreas nos ha dicho de que su parte, Notcry, no está en paz todavía.
I see. I would say that planting thoughts inside the mind of a god sounds a little far-fetched, but since it was his own wish to begin with...
Wait, we already have a perfect solution?
Ha ha ha. If only it were that simple. Unfortunately, this one thought alone is unlikely to be powerful enough to break through the Abyss's control and reach Andreas' heart.
Entonces, ¿qué hay que hacer?
We need to find a way to make the thought within this sword stronger and more resilient.
For now, Boreas needs all his remaining strength to fight against the abyssal corruption to Mondstadt's ley lines. He can't however, since his form was unstable during his journey with the first night of Boreas, many wolf spirit fragments were left behind along the way.
O sea, que hay que recolectar cada fragmento.
If we can collect those fragments, we can use them to strengthen the decision to merge with the ley lines.
So we need to retrace his steps and look for random fragments? But they could be anywhere between Nodcry and...
You don't need to worry about that. There's a few fragments left to get. Most of them are already inside the sword. I've been collecting them during the whole expedition.
Huh? Wait, really?
Aprovechado bastante de tiempo.
I mean, it's an expedition, not a stroll in the park. Each step of the way, we've been hard at work planning for every possible contingency. Not just the wild hunt in the abyss, but ancient gods remaining in Nodcry.
Sounds like this plan was a long time in the making. It's almost...
As a matter of fact, I did. I caught a glimpse of fate's reflection. But I can't take credit for it. It was all thanks to the help of a few friends.
Las brujas.
Still, all I foresaw was that an abyssal calamity was brewing in the north. Had I known more, we could have saved a lot of energy.
Las brujas
Instead, we've had to make best guesses, prepare for every possible scenario. If all that preparation went to waste, all the better for it. But anything that proved useful, sure is. Just one crucial step remains. We need to gather the last few wolf spirit fragments scattered around Nodcry. According to what Boreas told me before we left Mondstadt, his form was at its most unstable at the beginning of his journey. That means, but of course, we've been tied up fighting battles since the day we set foot in Nodcry. First with the Wild Hunt, then with the Doctor. So, it wasn't until recently that we were finally able to confirm the status of the wolf spirit fragments. We now know there are 3 left.
Okay, so 3 more.
I managed to gather 1 fragment before Roland reappeared. I also have a confirmed location for the second. As for the 3rd fragment, we've identified a general search area to focus on. But we'll need all hands on deck to pinpoint the final snag.
Solo
Is
uno.
that since our foe is a replica of Roland, he too will be aware of Andrias' history. He's sure to try and sabotage our plans by any means at his...
With our foe being from Mondstadt, it's our duty as Mondstadters to defeat him.
And since the Wild Hunt is involved, the Lightkeepers will provide their full support.
The Clink Clink Krumkake craft shop will also help in any...
So what do they need me here for? Wait, I think maybe I signed a contract at some point. Didn't exactly scrutinize it though. I mean, do actually read those...
Ah, great. Knew I could count on you all. Lastly, our friend from the Curatorium of Secrets will provide intel and relay battlefield communications. Looking at you, Yehoda.
So, he'll be darting back and forth across the battlefield, dodging the Wild Hunt and the shadow of an ancient god. I'm impressed by your courage.
Rating for Yehoda updated. Higher quality ingredients will be...
Darn it! I should have known this payday wouldn't come that easy.
I'll deal with the second wolf spirit fragment, which we already know the location of. The moment you make any progress with fragment 3, Traveler, could you join me in retrieving fragment 2?
All right, time is of the essence. Let's move out, people.
Didn't you say fragment 2 was supposed to be right here? Where the heck is it?
Seems like we've run into a slight hindrance. Can I leave this to you, Honorary Knight? Traveler, Paimon, when this is all over, I'm gonna invite you around for a drink of...
Whoa! Stop thinking about Mondstadt's wine and keep your head in the game!
¿Por qué no?
Alcohol before a battle?
Huh? Well, all right, just trying to lift our spirits a little. You want to see some photos I took of me and the knights before the expedition, maybe?
Shut up! Can we please just focus on finding the wolf
A ver hasta dónde llega. Hola, yo esa canción. Bien.
Is this what we're looking for?
I once got Boreas to explain to me how he stores his soul inside objects. All I need to do is just like back at the camp. But this time, you'd best step back.
Muy bien.
So, you're saying you don't know how to love people, and you don't understand human love either.
Why do you laugh?
Sorry, I just think the fact you're ruminating on this is all the proof you need that you have love in your heart.
Despertar el corazón dormido.
I have a
Memoria.
funny feeling that by the time this journey ends, you'll have found your own answer to the question of how to love.
No, you're wrong. There is no redemption at the end of this path.
En el abismo otra vez.
Even if I am stained black with blood, my conscience will remain as white as snow. If pledging allegiance to the Abyss is the only way to sever the injustice of fate, then I shall serve in its name.
Oh, sure enough. This place has been corrupted by Roland's will. Whew. I'm fine. I was prepared for this. We got here just in time. The fragment hasn't been fully corrupted yet.
Bien, ¿cómo?
Assuming we can undo the
Purificar el
damage.
abismo.
Purifying the abyssal corruption would definitely be a safer. Could you try reversing the corruption? Not purifying it exactly, but
No me
separating
acuerdo
out
que
the
hayamos hecho
Roland
eso
part
antes,
from
yo
the wolf
nunca
spirit.
hemos revertido.
Keep the Roland part intact as well as the wolf spirit?
Firstly, to test whether it's possible. And secondly, to view Roland's memories. As they say, know thyself, know thy
Sí, no hemos
enemy.
hecho eso antes. ¿Sí?
Understand? Let me think. How is it explained to me? Ah, yes. Focus on a single thought within the 1,000. Actually, neither do I.
No puede ser. ¿Cómo va a dar esos consejos y no sabe ni qué
Bard would
ahí?
come up with when he can't think of anything meaningful to say.
I thought it might mean something to you. Never mind. I'll explain it in more human terms. Traveler, when you were in Natland, you went fishing for ancient names, correct? If I'm not mistaken, the Night Kingdom was like a river flowing with concepts, and you were trying to capture the concept belonging to a particular ancient name. I'm thinking the same basic principle.
Okay, but back then we had a bow and a net. This time we don't have
Esta vez
anything at
estamos
all.
nadando y pescando a pura mano.
This wolf spirit fragment is like a puddle compared to the Night Kingdom. No need for a boat.
Thoughts and emotions are like interwoven threads. They can create a net, or they can create a rope. They can separate love from hatred, and they can bind objects and events to
Querían ver a
thought
Mónica.
is the anchor for a being's existence, through which emotions are drawn forth.
Also, we barely know anything about Roland. How are we supposed to use thoughts to anchor him?
Ni siquiera, o sea, no mucho, ni siquiera sabíamos quién era. Acabamos de conocerlo.
Well, maybe you could try this.
What is it? It looks old.
It's an unsent letter, written by the wolf pup Rostam,
Hola.
Knight of Boreas, from 500 years ago. It was meant after Rostam lost his life in the Abyssal Calamity. Roland left Mondstadt to wander to Vat. Grandmaster Arundelen had wanted to deliver this letter to him, but trying to track Roland down was like chasing a shadow. He never did find him. And so this letter has been sitting at the Knights of Favonius.
Quite the antique then.
Está bien valuado, loco. Tenemos la pobreza solo una carta, yo creo.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure.
Hey, what happened to Mr. Plans for every contingency?
What can I say? Some people like to wait till they've got all their
Es
ducks in a row
mejor
before taking the first step.
ir armando en
But
plan
I
en lo
prefer
que
to dive on
sale,
any
loco.
plan as I go. But anyway,
No tener algo previsto.
don't they say that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts? Can't hurt to give it a try, surely.
¿Será que sí se podrá? No sé. Es disparar así a la mano de Dios, como quien dice. Un disparo a ciegas, vaya. Uy. ¿Cómo que de verdad?
So the assimilation of souls really can be reversed, just like he said.
¿Él quién?
If what you say is true, the monsters I've slain, the justice I have sought to uphold, a great and ancient kingdom was wrongfully cursed, turning its inhabitants into monsters.
Pues así es el orden celestial, papi.
The code of chivalry tolerates not if abyss be thy name. I pledged.
And that is where the blood-stained knight's tale came to an end. With
¿Quién anda ahí?
that, he bade his humanity farewell. I dare say you must find it quite ironic, Knight of Boreas.
Ese ojo es de Caenria.
That eye.
Dainsleif.
No.
No.
Bore a striking resemblance, but that
Entonces
wasn't
debe
him.
ser el profeta. Belfonir. A ese
While we
Belfonir.
gazed into the past, he was gazing right back at us. Could it be?
Ajá, le atiné. No puede ser que en verdad le atiné.
So that's what happened. After leaving Mondstadt and wandering the land, Roland ventured underground and saw a revelation from the visionary.
Sí, justo lo que has dicho, que encontró un pedacito de las partes que se repartieron los pecadores.
Once he had learned of Conria's fate, he saw the gods' judgment as the greatest injustice. So he surrendered him, giving them his knowledge, his power, his everything.
Uh-oh. Does this mean we have to take on the visionary this time?
Sí, porque cuando estuvimos en el recuerdo, o al chile no sé ni qué estábamos, ¿no? En el cuerpo de Lumín y con Caribert y Alberic, justo se topó con un gran parte del profeta y no pasó nada, no pasó mayores.
I'm inclined to agree. If our enemy could see the future, both the Wild Hunt but even without the Visionary's input, Roland still has an intel advantage we can't have. Every minion of the Wild Hunt serves as Roland's eyes and ears. We need to... And on that note, I have a plan I want to discuss with you. Well, the fewer people who know, the less likely it is to get leaked. Besides, it wasn't
Sí,
a
armarnos
fully
en el
formed
camino. Ey, pero ¿por qué con eso?
That about covers it. No plan is free of risks. At least this one actually gives us a shot at fully eliminating the danger posed by this ancient god. If I fail, Anselm and Albedo can take the reins. Not to mention we still have Jean and Mondstadt.
No entiendo.
There has to be another way. Like a back.
If only there were. But I don't think our enemy will give us enough time to find one.
Yaha.
You guys done here yet?
Ah, Yehoda! Yes, we've successfully retrieved the wolf spirit from...
It's a total disaster. More wild hunt monsters.
Come on, we're out
Bueno,
of
vamos
time.
pues.
You'll just have to trust me on this one. What can I say? I'm not the Grand Master for nothing.
Bueno, mi modo. A ver, solo... ¡Ay, loco! No, de una vez me dijeron, prepárate, mano, porque tienen horas llenas de juego. No, loco. Es la parte final de la misión.
Fill me in. What's the situation?
We ran into resistance almost as soon as we set off. Albedo said we should split into two.
Good call. Locating the wolf spirit fragment is our key objective. I would have made the same...
Well, it seems the enemy figured as much too. Now, both search teams are in big trouble. Before we ran into trouble, this is the search area we decided on. The two teams are holed up here and here. They should have a clear idea of the fragment.
But the Wild Hunt is stopping them from relaying messages back, right? Do we have any more troops available to provide backup?
We can't spare troops from any of the fronts right now.
The logistics company is standing by.
Hanefa!
Designated drop point reached. Initiating. The logistics company was assisting Aino with the production of the strategic reserve. But after learning of the situation on the front line, they requested to be dispatched immediately.
Amazing. Just in the nick.
Hey, seeing as you can fly and all.
I regret to say that without the workshop's catapult, and with my short-distance propulsion module on cooldown, I will only be able to return to the battlefield after the logistics company has very limited provisions, only enough for a single battle.
Tengo que decidir a quién va a apoyar.
Once one team has been rescued, the remaining forces will be free to support the other. We'll move out.
Ánimo, Yahoo. Compañeros, equipar una negativa. Seguimos. Varka puede ordenarle que aproveche el terreno para mantener. Ajá. Ok. Ánimo.
Something's not right. The Wild Hunt's offensive doesn't seem to be getting any weaker as the battle...
Don't get dragged into the enemy's rhythm. Logistics company, scout out the area. Look for terrain we can use.
Yes, sir. Reporting in, sir. We've identified viable sites.
Good. Wait for my signal.
Varka.
Logistics company, deploy.
Hola. Qué chulada. Vamos.
Grandmaster! Honorary Knight! Thank goodness you're here. Careful. There's no end to these monsters. However many we kill, more keep coming.
Well, they're about to get a shock to the system. We'll wipe them out faster than they can replenish their numbers. We just have to hold on until the logistics company is ready.
Got it? Is that the signal to say they're ready?
It's showtime! Fall back!
Yes, sir!
Bueno, vámonos ya.
Ready? The enemy has sustained heavy casualties. Should be a while before they're strong enough to pose a real threat. Use this time to catch your breath.
Yes, sir. We've narrowed down the search area for the final fragment to this zone here.
That's not exactly very narrow.
We split the search area between us and the Retniki. Maybe...
Either way, I was about to go lend them a hand next anyway.
Absolutely. Good to go, Grandmaster.
We've run right through our supplies. Stay here and deal with any wild hunt that tries to stage a... Now that they've lost their numerical advantage, they're no match for us. Focus on supporting the other...
Vamos.
Looks like the same situation here.
Reinforcements. Hey, you keep them busy while we work on getting rid of this god.
Understood. Everyone got that? It's up to us.
Yes, sir.
Vamos. Y Paimon ahí. Lugar de Paimon. Ay, loco.
Hey, they're running out of steam. Now's your chance.
Affirmative. Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's their source. It was hidden in the mist. If we destroy that, the Wild Hunt won't be able to summon any more reinforcements.
Knights of Livonian! Charge!
Ojo. Estufas. Bien.
Ooh, I'm glad that's finally over.
Brave knights, on behalf of the Lightkeepers, I thank you for your assistance.
There's no need to be so formal.
Very well. We've narrowed down the search area for the final fragment to this zone here.
Bien, bien.
Now it feels like we're
I'll say. We're sure to face fierce resistance from the Wild Hunt, though. Is everyone willing to keep fighting?
It would be our pleasure.
Bien.
Much obliged. All right.
Vamos.
The hiding in the mist trick again. These guys must be easily amused. You all know the drill. The Knights of Favonius will engage the enemy while the light keep. Yes, sir.
Vamos. Ay.
On me. Lightkeepers, prepare to dispel the mist.
Knights of Favonian! Charge!
Up the ante!
On me.
Time to counterattack!
On me.
Ay.
Up the ante!
Rally to the Grandmaster! Charge!
Hola.
Ugh, this Wild Hunt doesn't know when to give up. Traveler!
Mr. Varka, leave this to us.
Just like last time. Only a Knight of Boreas can deal.
Don't underestimate us, Grandmaster. We can hold our...
Huh,
Ánimo,
that's the
Varka.
spirit. Stay on your toes and make the Knights of Favon. Either we all march back to Mondstadt together, or no one does.
Hola, madre.
The final fragment is right there. Don't let me down.
It seems you have collected them all. Knight of Borea.
Yeah, and with no corrupted fragments or ambushes along the way. I have to commend your chivalry, Sir Roland.
A true knight does not resort to underhanded tactics. Were this body not a false one created by the... If you need a moment to rest, take it.
Save your breath. If you want to fight, let's fight!
As you wish. Then let...
Is everyone all right?
My granny fights better than these rookies. It's Egbert I'm worried about.
Ahí, pero muestren cómo peleo. Déjenme a mí pelear contra ese sanguinario.
For a moment there, I thought I might never taste the sweet wine.
Hey, stay put, you guys. Leave the rest to us.
Forget us. We can take care of ourselves.
You're the only one still standing. Honorary Knight?
We can't lose our Varka. Please, you have to find...
You're holding back, Knight. This duel does no justice to the way of chivalry. I wield the power of a god, while you dare not. Your plan is doomed to fail. How can a helpless lamb hope to
You're on to me already, huh?
Andreas's question, Boreas's answer, the means to bear a soul. Though the false path may be wide and welcoming, only destruction lies.
Hola, cinemática. O una media cinemática. ¡Ay, ay, ay, ay! ¡Hola, qué increíble! ¡Ey, esta cinemática! ¡Ey, eso ha sido bueno para una miniatura! ¡Ey! ¡Rompió la espada!
Sword lies shattered. The wolf spirit and the thoughts you blindly placed your faith in have nowhere left to dwell. Join me and pledge your allegiance to the abyss, Knight of Boreas. One day you will understand that the only righteous path for the...
For the next part, it's over to you. Outlander who caught the wind.
No entiendo qué hace.
The sword is unbroken. But looks like I'm no longer in reality. This must be a space built from the... There's no way back.
Oh, no.
And all that lies ahead is the wolf's maw. Huh. Guess the only way is through.
Ay, ¿qué es esto, loco?
A Favonius sword? Who left this here?
Hey, esto no es...
Lonely warrior. Take me to see him.
No matter the epoch, the world is awash with corruption and injustice. I have aided the oppressed and righted many wrongs. I have slain sinners and delinquents. I have slaughtered tyrants and demons. But however mighty one's blade, for the great injustice of fate, a mere mortal can but bow their head. There is only one way to save them.
Who are you really trying to convince? Is this the fairish?
The title of Boreas must find an heir.
A ver, espera mucho, voy a cambiar las baterías. Se está agotando. prevenir.
The scent that reeks of blood
Ya con esto bien
appears to be
seguimos
getting
bastante.
stronger. Looks like I can just jump right over these obstacles.
Try to keep up.
Hola.
Try to keep up. On me.
No matter the epoch, the world is awash with corruption and injustice. Even the most fearless hero cannot fight what fate has ordained. And even the holiest god cannot escape the shackles that bind them. Lupus Boreas, if you still harbor love for humanity, then you must surely know. There has only ever been one way to save them from injustice. Surrender to the abyss.
Malicious lies.
Hola, man.
Stormwind! Maria sweeping in! Stormwind!
My old friend.
This is not where your path ends. You must continue on.
This wind feels
Hello,
less than
man.
welcoming. I'd better take shelter.
Ay, 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 cerca.
On me.
Hola, bro. ¿Qué es eso? El loque.
Here. Here.
I can't hide from it.
You must deliver it.
Uy.
Your path cannot end here. You draw near to the heart of the wolf.
Vamos.
Even if you had an army of 10,000 men, in the end, you must face this fight alone. Lonely warrior. Step forward.
La noche espiritual.
Is
yo creo.
this the heart of the wolf?
Ah, ese es sanguinario.
Roland!
After countless bloody battles, trials, tribulations, and hardships, I With my mortal flesh and blade, attain power to rival that of the gods. But you know better than I that a mortal's prime is fleeting. In 5 years, maybe 10, age will snatch your strength. The power you take such pride in will fade to naught, disappearing like dust. In the wind. Your fame will be as fleeting as firewood beneath the starry sky. Lit at dusk, dead by dawn. Utterly insignificant.
Oh yeah? Be that as it may, the fires that burn down here blaze more brilliantly than the light of 1,000 stars.
They blaze for but a moment. 100 years from now, your earthly flame will be long snuffed out. And those you once illuminated will be left cowering in the cold and empty night.
Ha! No. They'll remember me in 100 years, just as I remember all of you from centuries ago. That's the thing about firewood. From the embers of a dying flame, a new fire arises, burning bigger and brighter than ever before.
A knight's duty is to save others, not demand things from them. How can one call themselves a knight while placing their hopes in generations to come?
Well, as long as I put an end to you here and now, I won't need to rely on anyone else. Now, show yourself, Roland!
Put an end to me? Your body and mind are already at the limit of what they can bear. It is only a matter of time before they yield and crumble. But if this is your final request... I shall do as you wish. Knight of Boreas.
Huh. You're not quite how I imagined you.
Not once have I strayed from the righteous path. But when I look at you, I do.
I guess we have that much in common. Neither of us are at our peak.
The ray here of Solmari's forces have been defeated. And the Roland you see, I wield the power that Roland did at his peak. But my heart, and therefore I, in my current form, after redeeming you from injustice, and guiding your surrender to the abyss, I shall
The world out there can bear no more of your torment. Your obsession, clearly, remains exactly as—
No words can make a knight doubt his convictions, no matter how noble they may sound. Neither of us otherwise. Why would you pin all your hopes on Boreas? But now the blade that once housed the wolf spirit has been shattered. And you no longer have the means to change the situation. And no one will come to your rescue.
Maybe you're partly right. But I think I might just have a shot at a rescue.
What do you mean?
There's only one person's mind I need to change, and it isn't yours. Forgetting where we are? This is the heart of Andreas, god of the Northland. Andreas, can you hear me? Wake up! You are the great god of the Northwind. How long will you allow yourself to suffer the domination of the Abyss?
If this is your final gambit, grand displays of heartfelt wishes cannot summon miracles.
Return.
tomb and the ley lines. This is my choice.
Sí.
My memory.
Muy bien.
Is this the answer that I found?
Andreas, at long last, I have delivered your token back into your heart.
A knight of Boreas. Watch on. This is all that a wolf can hope to do for humankind.
On behalf of all humanity, I thank you, Lord of Wolves.
Boreas is returning to the ley lines. But why? Your sword is broken. You no longer have the means to bear his soul.
Begging for miracles is a futile endeavor. I know better than that. But a sword is just one kind of vessel. There are other ways to store a soul.
¿Será que ella tiene todo su alma? Pero eso no se puede hacer porque es muy peligroso.
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack, strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws and fangs.
Even if it is not my intention, the soul of Lupus Boreas will inevitably ravage, devour.
Arriesgó todo.
Mortal heart is to bear the
Capitano.
soul of God. This is a path that cannot be retraced. Yet, I shall not dissuade a knight from embarking on the quest of his own choosing.
Capitano es como ver a tu primer amor otra vez. ¿Sabes a lo que me refiero?
Your heart, your soul, they are collapsing. Now I see.
You were wondering how a lamb could tame the heart of a wolf, isn't that right? Here's my answer. You get the wolf to swallow the heart.
The wolf spirit within the sword was merely a decoy. The true thoughts and memories were carried within your heart. To avoid arousing my suspicion, you deliberately allowed Lupus Boreas' soul to assimilate your own.
Compared to Lupus Boreas' decision, my sacrifice is nothing.
You have a stubborn will, and employed an exceptional strategy. Your soul is now merged with that of Andreas. Neither Barbados nor the Traveler will be able to anchor your soul from within the ley lines, let alone rescue you. You have lost, and so have I. Regrettably, may your soul rest in peace with Boreas, lonely warrior.
Haha! Lonely? Sorry to disappoint you, but as much as it sounded like the perfect... The fact is that, unlike the true Roland of the past, I still have fine wine and good friends. I'm not ready to accept my fate just yet.
Ding dong! You've got mail!
Barbatos. Ay, cinemática. Como que se hace el video de eso.
Until I return, I leave them in your care. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you. Come on, to Mondstadt.
Dear Grandmaster.
To Varka. To Varka.
Family.
No pig call.
Poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts. Make sure they all get delivered, Outlander who caught the wind. Master.
Master.
Varka.
Varka. Uncle Varka! Hey, Sarangala!
For Varka.
The thoughts of others anchor you, reversing the assimilation. Using your connections, relying on outside help. This is not the way of a knight. The Abyss can sustain me no longer. But now, countless souls who died unjustly will emerge to prevent your return. If you believe in your path, then grant them release. Carve your way out through bloodshed. Varka, mightiest knight of Boreas.
This is how it ends. Throw the plan out of the window. Fight my way to victory. Well, that suits me just fine!
Ojo.
A knight is always true to their word.
Carajo, yo no poder hacer un video directo.
You are not alone.
Right back at you, Varka. Time to get serious.
Can't fall here!
North wind blows southward. May it guide you on your journey home.
There's an ice cold drink with your name on it. Ready when you are.
Don't go dying in a place like this, Varka.
On me!
La música de Genshin jamás
Try to keep up!
Fly home to us, Grandmaster!
Spread your wings and soar toward a new dawn.
Chosen Rubicon.
I can't fall here! I can't fall here! On me! One final battle!
increíble.
Varka. Now, I know the meaning of my name.
After the lengths you've made everyone go for you, you'd better make sure to thank us all properly when you get back.
You know, I have a lot of things to update you on. But they can wait until you're back.
Todo el mundo ama
I
a
have
Varka.
no intention of returning to the Knights of Favonius. But I trust you will find a way to manage on your own.
Grandmaster, we're all waiting for you.
Increíble.
Oh. I'm not doing too bad a job as Grandmaster, am I? I'll take that silence as your approval.
No hay buena expedición si no hay bebida.
Everything you swore to protect with your lives, it's all still here, safe and sound. The Knights of Favonius, Mondstadt, and the oath sworn by every knight. I'll protect them all with my life. And so, I'll deliver that letter on your behalf. I know it's just a shadow of the real Roland, but if you have the time, could you please read it for him? Rostam and Arundelen, they never forgot you. Phew. This has been one long expedition. From here on out, I think I'll let the wind lead.
Hola, qué hermosa calidad. Hola, qué gráficos. Oh, qué hermoso.
Hey everyone. It's been a mighty long time. I'm thrilled to see you all again.
Welcome back, Grandmaster.
Yeah. I'm home.
Qué hermosa misión. Qué hermosa misión.
It's been a while since I felt this wind on my face. Just how I remember. So, is there anything you'd like to talk about? The sword was just a decoy. I carried his soul in my own heart. That was the plan I was most... The second half, though, using everyone's thoughts to guide me back out of the ley lines, I wasn't too sure...
All jokes aside, what would you have done if the Traveler hadn't been able to say...
Initially, I was planning to have Barbados carry out that step. But when I approached him about it, he said there was a much more suitable candidate. The Outlander who caught the wind. Turns out our trust was not misplaced. Thank you. Then, I guess we'd have had to get Barbados to send a wind to blow me back home. But it would have come at a heavy price, and with no guarantee of success. Besides, I'd rather not have him expend that kind of power.
El poder en Arconte.
It's a good question. A glass of the finest dandelion wine, perhaps? No doubt I'd have to pay for it with a secret stash of cash in my office.
You're dreaming if you think it would have come that cheap.
It's been a while since I felt this wind on my face. Well, with the shadow of Roland vanquished, the Wild Hunt won't be able to consolidate their... A few knights will remain on rotation at the Nodcry stronghold, but everyone else will be sent home, and Albedo and Duran will come back with the first wave. So you should have the chance to see them again soon. It's been a while since I felt this, my future.
¿Qué quieres hacer ahora, Varka?
You may already have learned of this from Barbados or the Hexen Circle, but I glimpsed a reflection of the future in Barbarloth's scryglass. Correct. Although as things stand now, I believe we may have changed the course of the future, thanks in no small part to you.
Esto lo llamas de Sumeru, que la variable de éter es la variable que puede cambiar el futuro.
Still, after I've tied up some loose ends with the Knights of Favonius, I'll need to make another trip back north. There's still a lot of work to be done at the Nodcry stronghold. Besides, the first group of knights who volunteered to stay there have yet to be relieved of their duty. How could I simply abandon them?
How noble. But be honest, your main reason for going back to Nodcry is so you can... Wait, seriously?
I'm only pulling your leg. You'll be seeing a lot more of me in Mondstadt from now on. It's been a while since I felt this wind on my face. All right then. I'm gonna stay here and enjoy the breeze for a little longer. For all the wine in the world, there's no feeling as intoxicating as the wind from your hometown after a long time away.
Me gusta mucho. La verdad que si yo tuviera un poco más de protogemas, sí traería por Varka, nomás porque me encantó su historia. Ahí como de proto. 65 y 14. Tenemos 79, 80 deseos tenemos. Bastante bien, yo creo. Bastante bien. Y hasta aquí el directo de hoy. Espero que les haya encantado. Si es así, dejen su like, suscríbanse y activen la campanita. Nos vemos en un próximo video o directo. Muy probablemente video pasado mañana de Life is Strange, que ya casi terminamos este juego. Muy probablemente 2 capítulos más y pasamos a la parte final de Life is Strange. Y pues ahora sí ya. Bye. Adiós.